but it's also an opportunity to create that experience. And then, hey, I'm walking around your car, and hey, Jason, I noticed your headlights are really foggy, and you have a bulb out. Should we get that done as well for you today?
Yeah.
Because I know you just said you want your tires changed. But, do you want us to book this in for, like, it's an opportunity to pre-sell. So the check-in is becoming a huge opportunity from a sales focus and experience with the customer. And then, we're steering back communication with the customer and how do we reduce steps for that service advisor? Because they're rocked, they're busy.
Yeah.
They don't have an extra second. They're running 1 million miles a minute. So how do we make them more efficient at their job, cut down time, reduce wasted phone calls?
Yep.
And what does all feed back to?
Hey, what's going on, Podcast Nation? It's Jason Harris here with Strategy with Jason. Today, I get to talk to a buddy of mine, Kole Hicks with AutoServe One. What's going on, Cole?
Hey, Jason. Thanks for having me. Good seeing you.
Yeah, it's good seeing you too,
Loving the tie, as always.
Yeah.
Did you show them the glasses?
No, I haven't. Here,
guys, pass the glasses over.
Here, guys, I gotta show you these things real quick.
We'll never see Jason again without these glasses, by the way.
This is that not awesome or what? For everyone out there that can't see what I'm doing right now, I am wearing a pair of perfectly designed orange Ray-Ban style sunglasses that fit the rest of my decor very, very well.
They match his shoes. If anyone knows Jason and the orange shoes. It doesn't matter. We were at a formal event, black tie, he wore orange shoes. Almost got us all kicked out because of it.
You know what, actually, the last auto show, they actually gave me a hard time for it. They're kind of like, I'm like, nah, what are you going to do?
Like shock value, right?
I know, exactly, right? Well, Cole, again, thanks so much, man, for coming to jam with me.
Hey, no problem.
We're here at the ACE Expo in Niagara Falls, and just got kicked off.
Super excited to be here.
Dude, this is cool setup. I mean, I actually like this over last year. I think it's got a nice, better flow to it where it is.
I've been at this event for the last few years in a row, and I think it's one of the best Canadian events that we have at the moment. Content's good. We see a lot of clients being dealers and people from the auto space, and the volume. Not to mention, it's a fun place to have it. It's almost a mini NADA. I don't want to say it's a NADA because, well, NADA's a lot of fun. But Niagara puts a nice venue. Everyone has a good social event afterwards, so it's a good place for it.
No, it is. It's real cool. So, man, I wanted to grab you because we haven't had a chance to kind of jam yet. Sure. I love what you guys are doing over there in the service department. I mean, there's just, I have such a passion for wanting to elevate both the online experience and the user experience within the dealership. I have a tendency of kind of focusing on the sales side of the user experience because I think it's so far behind. But, we got talking a little earlier, dude, the service side. You're right. Shit had changed in a long time.
Well, so a little bit of my background, being in the auto space, really, I've been in the Canadian auto finance space for 25 years. In dealerships for over 16, specializing in finance, non-prime, then worked with DealerTrack for 7 years. So that's really my comfort zone. When this company approached me and showed me a tool that creates an experience and service, so I'm used to the front end, the variable, and we got CRMs, we got data mining, we just have all the tools, desking, menu. There's not a lot going in the back end. With that said, I just recently, it was a podcast, and I forget whose it was, shame on me, but the guy pulled up an image of a 1950s playbook. They called it the Ford Service Playbook from the 50s. It was pretty awesome. It was I don't know where the guy found it from, but the format of how you ran your service department, how you communicated with customers, hasn't changed. So literally, we're still doing the same thing in service, and we're expecting the same results in communicating with people the same way we have been for decades. And I don't know about you, but do you even listen to a voicemail anymore?
No, in fact, I just read everything.
Half my staff have voicemails that say, "Please don't leave me a message. Text me if you need to get a hold of me." And I'm like,
I have a couple dealers that are the exact same way. I call some clients, and they don't even, the voicemail's ain't activated. I won't listen to it. I'm not going to respond to it.
My mom gives me a hard time for that.
Oh yeah, because she wants to leave a voicemail.
My mom and dad, they're like, "You never check," and I'm like, "No, nor will I." call me again or text me.
Now, there are so many experiences, what I call these little micro elements within that service department, all the way down to just the way we check in a vehicle, to the way that we set up the first RO, how we input someone into the system, how the information from the technician gets translated back out to the client. There are all these little micro elements that create that umbrella of the full experience. What are you guys seeing out there right now? What are people changing? That not only is it in the benefit of the consumer, but they're also seeing the benefit in themselves, just in the bottom line.
It's a big question because there's so many elements to that.
Yeah. Well, let's start with the first one. Let's just say inputting someone into the system, just that first meet and greet kind of stuff.
Obviously, we saw companies like Xtime, DealerFX, AutoPoint bring out digital scheduling. That's been around for a while, and that's allowing the customer to book an appointment and actually find available times within the DMS, because dealerships were pretty heavily loaded. Fridays afternoons would never be booked up, but Monday mornings were heavy. So that's a customer experience to better slot people in. But what's really starting to change is how we meet and greet people. The old school kiosks, old school desks. I get out of my car, I walk up, I have to come wait in a lineup behind
There's
a
6
desk,
people.
and so that's something that I'm seeing a lot of change. A lot of OEMs, a lot of manufacturers trying to, either introduce tablets in the drive-through, a meet and greet. But we got to always look at two sides of it. What's the customer experience, and what's the benefit for either the staff member? Because if you add steps, I'm a huge reduce steps. Everything I try to do it in reduced steps. I'm a competitive shooter. When I do my load development, it's reduced steps. When we're shooting in matches, I'm heading down to Ohio for a match soon, and it's very stressful. And, we're shooting long distance and fast in what they call precision rifle series, so it's barricades. And you got to reduce the amount of steps because you'll never hit your target. You'll never make it in time. You'll run out of speed. So I think that's a big part of what we need to do with any software platforms when we introduce them to a staff member is how can we reduce steps without affecting the customer? Because my problem isn't their problem. So I'm trying to introduce things that, hey, we're going to speed you up. We're going to help you communicate better. We're going to obviously help you sell more. But this isn't going to make it harder for you to do. No. But there's also a benefit, and that's your internal, right?
Well, we're removing friction, and for the consumers, the fewer steps that we have, right? The less lulls or mountains or valleys that we have in between those steps, right? It just feels more frictionless. It's smooth. It's a nice linear process versus having these ups and downs.
Well, we talk about processes. What's the definition and reason of a process? To reduce error, to create a repeatable process that reduces error and has repeatable results. So once again, we're trying to create things internally in the shops that help speed them up, help them be more efficient, and obviously help them have a better experience for the customer. But then we go to the customer side. How do we introduce a better experience? Dealerships have not the wonderful reputation of trust. Nice-ish way of saying it?
Well, let's say the service department. There's a lot of stereotypes around the service department, right? Trust is one of them. Price is another. There's still that stereotype out there that dealership service departments are more expensive than Mr. Lube's, and we all know it ain't true. I mean, the analytics are there. It's very, very straightforward and simple. But there's still this consumer's perception, right? So how do we alter through our process? And I know there's so many things. So this could be a whole.
Yeah, we've already taken 3 tangents here.
We should actually. I'm thinking about that because we definitely we're gonna have to stretch this to a longer piece. Meaning we're gonna have to get together and jam for a while. But I'm saying what would you say are the top 3 things? That's actually a good way. What would be the top 3 things a dealership can do within their processes or change some of the processes that can alter that perception, that customer's perception that we're too expensive and that we're not trustworthy.
Right. One's communication with your end customer. Voicemails are a dying breed.
Sure, that's a great example.
Text messaging, emails. Emails have an open rate of 10% now?
10 to 20% in some cases. Yeah, exactly.
Text messages are still about 70 plus. And voicemails, we were just talking about this a minute ago. Half the people I work with have a voicemail that says, please don't leave me a message, text me instead.
Exactly.
So number one is how do you communicate with your end customer? And if you're not introducing text messaging, that's one thing. Two, photos and videos. If in that communication you're proving to a customer to allow them to make an educated decision, you just reduce the trust factor out of it.
Okay. So actually, let's deep dive into that a little bit. So communication.
Yeah.
So text messaging communication. Like what examples? What kind of example of texts?
Well, this is a shameless plug, but AutoServe.
That's why I'm opening it up there. I'm giving you an opportunity here. Use it.
Okay, so if I were to quickly describe what we do, we replace the clipboard MPI with a tablet, allowing the technician to document what's wrong with the vehicle quick and easy with photos and videos. So as I'm running through the red, green, amber cause correction, and there's a busted part, we take a quick photo of it. Now when we communicate with the customer, we actually become a sales or communication tool for the service advisor.
Yep.
So once again, we're reducing steps, we're increasing efficiency, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to send you something a la carte.
Yep.
So here, Jason, here's what's wrong with your car. Here's what we learned about your car today. What are you comfortable doing?
Well, you're educating through transparency.
Absolutely.
All right, those pictures and video, or just pictures? Okay, I thought so. I was making sure. Those I know. Those pictures and those videos bring transparency, but also educating them. And does it really feel like much of a sell at that point, or is it just in that process of communication is more just?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with someone yesterday, and I said, go to your doctor, and he says, I think you have a broken leg. Or he shows you an x-ray and says, you have a broken leg. Which one are you more certain that you're going to take action on?
Yeah.
So creating trust by proof. It's an old school show and tell. Back in the day, right, our dads went into the dealership, Joey took them out back and said, hey, Ken, here's your busted brake pad. We should fix that today. And he's like, oh, yeah, no, it's broken. I should get that done. Well, we're introducing a digital platform that does the same thing. It's a show and tell via text messaging. So once again, how do we drive efficiencies in the shop by reducing steps and make people more efficient at their job? But ultimately, what's the experience we're offering the customer? Because experiences, I think that's how we all spend money, right?
100%.
I'm a little frugal until it's an experience.
Yes.
Then
because we don't have a problem paying for experiences. No. We really don't.
Yeah. So service is no different.
Yeah.
Sales, we create wonderful experiences. We have balloons, we have shiny cars, we have bright lights, shiny floors, pop the hoods. We do weekend sales, creating experiences. Yep. A test drive is an experience.
Sure.
Trial closes on a test drive. Or, how's this going to fit in your driveway, Jason? Service, we don't introduce a lot of that experience. I think, circle back where we started a long time ago in this conversation. What are the top three things? I think if a dealership can create an experience in service, if they can communicate better with the customer, creating a trusting communication.
Communication, I think, is a big thing that we have to change. That has not changed.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem with the service department is that there's a wall. All right, my car disappears into this abyss, and I have no idea what the hell happens on the other side of that wall. And some for most dealerships, right? There's not a glass, you can't see into it, right? And you're not 100% sure what the hell the technician's actually doing. What your guys' system allows the dealership to do is to bring that communication, educate them in a very transparent way.
Those first two things we talked about were consumer facing, right?
Yep.
Service advisors are really the unsung hero.
Yep.
That is a tough job.
Oh, it is.
They handle more volume, more complaint, generate more profit than your top salespeople.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen a statement, you've been in dealerships a long time too. An average service advisor can generate 2-3 times the monthly gross of your top sales guy.
You're 100% right. And not only that, but they are so forward-facing. They are going to interact and engage with face-to-face with more clients than my salespeople will ever
in a month.
It will ever do in a month. So they have to really kind of represent my brand. And I think we could probably agree with this. There are some great service advisors out there.
Wonderful.
And then there are some ones that just woke up on the wrong side of the bed or took the grouchy pill, right? They're just but that's your first one. That's
but look
very
at the
first
volume,
one.
right? Your average salesperson, if they see 2 people a day, we're okay with that traffic now. Your service
dealership would see a sales side. You might see 300 people through a month. Okay,
sure.
But you could write almost 3,000 ROs. in your service
medium-sized stores doing 60 to 70 hours a day.
Yeah.
With typically the size stores has, 2 service advisors outside, maybe 3. So we're talking 20 opportunities a day. So, experience, the check-in, we talked about the check-in. A lot of stores are doing a great job of the check-in. The check-in also becomes an opportunity to pre-sell. So those stores, we digress, right? The check-in, I think that's a big opportunity within dealerships is because it's an opportunity to do a walk-around. You actually get to protect yourself as your store with the digital check-in.
Sure.
You document scratches, you document dents. It's a loss prevention side of it where it's full transparency. Customer's not going to come back in a week and say, hey, you ruined my $400 rim. But it's also an opportunity to create that experience. And then, hey, I'm walking around your car and hey, Jason, I noticed your headlights are really foggy and you have a bulb out. Should we get that done as well for you today?
Yeah.
Because I know you just said you want your tires changed. But, do you want us to book this in for, it's an opportunity to pre-sell. So the check-in is becoming a huge opportunity from a sales focus and experience with the customer. And then, we're steering back communication with the customer and how do we reduce steps for that service advisor? Because they're rocked, they're busy.
Yeah.
They don't have an extra second. They're running 1 million miles a minute. So how do we make them more efficient at their job, cut down time, reduce wasted phone calls?
Yep.
And what does all feed back to? The customer, and then the customer feeds back to profit.
Well, you're creating a loop, right?
Sure you are.
So, and we're saying, guys, here kind of, the 3 things that we're really kind of talking about here is creating that experience, all right, enhancing your communication efforts between you and the dealership, and really cutting down in the steps that we have.
Efficiency.
Right? This is a win-win for everyone. But I think when we start with that first one, that experience, and I think this is where a lot of people kind of struggle with, because they'll look at tools, and there's a lot of service tools out there. There's a lot of products out there. But a tool's only as good as how well someone as an individual uses it, right? So when you're defining that first step, and here's the best advice I can give you guys, is that experience, really define what your goal is going to be, and let that goal kind of give direction to the experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that goal is to increase your CP per work order, or if your goal is to increase just total ROs, or your goal is to increase your CSI, or whatever that goal is, let that goal give direction to the experience.
Well, it's like Tony Robbins, right? You can't measure what you can't, or you can't. What am I trying to say?
No, I know what you're saying.
You can't manage what you can't measure.
Exactly. Well, and that's the key too, right?
Yeah.
If we don't have a goal in place, then we end up creating experience for the sake of an experience, and then we're doing communication for the sake of doing communication.
Well, run down as a tactician, right? What's the goal? What's the plan? What's the actions? What's the milestones to hit and measure during those actions?
Yep.
And then hopefully you have a result, right?
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I think what it is when dealerships hear the word experience, and this is just coming from being a dealer principal myself, was I hear the word experience and all I see is dollar signs, cha-ching, cha-ching. That's what I hear when a vendor.
Really?
I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you, a lot of dealerships out there, when they hear vendors use the word experience, all they hear in the back of their head is this is going to cost me money.
Interesting.
But
I hadn't thought of it that way, to be honest.
Well, and it's not necessarily the vendor's fault, and it's not necessarily the dealership's fault. It's just, as a dealer principal, you're always concerned about that bottom line.
Well, I know it's a challenge, too, to get staff to do things repeatedly. And, to get staff to change a process, right? Change management.
Yeah.
And then to get them to keep on doing it after the honeymoon of the product is over.
Yeah.
How many times have we seen all of it, right?
Yeah.
I've sold a lot of software into dealerships that you don't get them on board in the first 90 days. You don't see results. You don't see that. If there's challenges, the staff just won't ever do it again. How do you get people to continuously use a product? So once again, it has to have value for the user. So is it making me money, saving me time, making my life easier, making this job easier?
Yep.
Does it make my life easier? At the same time, does it offer an experience for the customer? And are those two coming together, meaning a profit for the dealer?
Well, and see, that if we don't define what those goals are, then as we go along, we don't have a measurement against those goals. So that's where I see tools and products end up falling apart.
Yeah.
Is because it's a good idea. I hate good ideas. Do you know what I mean? Good ideas don't have roots. good ideas have a tendency of kind of floating around, and then we hug on to them, and then because we didn't define a goal out, we can't give a proper ROI to the good idea, and then the good idea falls apart. Unfortunately, I feel like a lot of dealerships will get into a product like yours guys is, which is a great product, but that tool is it's like, oh, that's a great idea. But if we don't define what the goal is, then we can't measure towards it and say, not only is it a good idea, but look what it's freaking doing for you.
Well, it has to be driven by someone too, right?
Yeah, you got to have someone that you have to have someone that owns the goal. Yeah. That's literally, see what it is here's what I've seen. Dealerships will go as far as defining the goal, but then not necessarily indicating who's going to be in charge of meeting that goal. It's like here, hey team, here it is.
And we're getting a little tough on dealerships right now. And there's some wonderful dealerships out there and some amazing operators.
There are ones that execute this, and you see it in their P&L.
There's some guys out there that run a beautiful store. Mm-hmm. It's not an easy business.
No, it's not.
Did you just have fun?
I did. I did.
Wow, guys, it's only 7 a.m. and he's already doing it.
But it isn't,
and it's high volume, and it's retail.
The volume's there, like
it's a grind.
It is. It's a complete grind, and that's why I'm so passionate about goals. Is because we have to spend more and more time defining those goals, defining how we're going to measure those goals, and defining who's going to own that crap.
Yep.
Right? They need to own it. Meaning, I come to one person and say, where we have that goal? Boss, we're 35% there. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, you make a really good point. I'm even inwardly reflecting on how we sell our product, and we show a lot of value. My sales team, we try to be solution sellers. Discover the pain and offer a solution and something to measure with. But I'm thinking here, establish a goal, put the benchmarks in place.
Yeah.
What is the goal, and what's the goal for the different individuals? Because everyone has a different goal.
Totally. And their usage of their tool, the usage of your service is going to vary. Some people are going to own it, and they're going to be a superhero with it. And then there's going to be others that will be so-so with it, and the results are going to be appropriate to it.
I think you need fire guy. I did ask for cream, and I got black coffee. Kind of disappointing.
Josh, you're fired. You wanted cream in his coffee, you messed it up.
I didn't hear the cream. I heard
it's probably because you're so used to me drinking black coffee.
That's okay. I'll power through it.
I can put cream in it.
No.
Cool, man. This has been great.
This
has been a lot of fun. I love jamming with you.
I watch your stuff all the time.
I appreciate that.
Wow. I don't really because I'm too busy, but I try to. If my boss is listening.
Yeah, I don't actually want to. But
I spend no time on social media.
Exactly. So if you can, we'll recap that. The three things that you think are going to be most beneficial to the dealerships when it comes to the service department. What were those three things?
Well, I think number one is communicating with your customers in a way your customers want to be communicated. Mm-hmm. And I don't think voicemails and phone call is a modern way of communicating. We're running too fast. So introduce text messaging, add photos and videos, help someone make an informed decision. So I think one is communication. Mm-hmm. Definitely experience. Create an experience that makes me feel comfortable as a consumer at your business. And how you create that experience, how you meet and greet me. And I would say the third, there's a huge opportunity in the service line. The drive-thrus, or if you don't have a drive-thru, the pre-selling, the check-in, the way we deal with our customers. We've been saying it in the sales department for years. Get up, get out of your desk, go meet a customer on the lot.
Yep.
I think service lane's not much different. I know these people are so busy, and I don't want to be tough on service advisors. But go meet and greet your customer. Do a digital check-in. Walk around the car. People come in and say, Jason, my car's doing this. I need you to fix that. Mm-hmm. Well, take a few more minutes and do a full inspection on the car and understand what that car's needs are. Because maybe I don't really know that there's also something broken over here and something else is doing this. So 1, 2, 3, right? Experience, communication, and I think the check-in's a huge opportunity for people.
No. And guys, I think there's some great advice here from Kole. For anybody out there that would like to learn a little bit more about what you guys do, where's the best way to find out?
So autoserve1.com. We got a great website. You can always find me on LinkedIn, Kole Hicks. Or you can call me at 705-896-5816.
Actually, I love it when people put their phone numbers out there. So don't worry. I know you looked at me like, should I be doing this? Absolutely.
Right,
we're
no,
going to put that in big
wasn't the
caps. We're saying for a good time. No, I'm just kidding. Call Kole Hicks.
Editing!
Cole, man, again, thank you so much for your time.
No, I appreciate
you
being
jamming with
here.
me.
It was cool.
We're definitely going to have to do this again.
All right.